remaining functional reactor at the site was last used 5 years ago. It shut down because it was losing money. Yesterday, the plant's current owner, Constellation Energy, announced it will spend $1.6 billion to restart that reactor. It's part of a 20-year deal to provide power to Microsoft data centers. Those centers power the company's growing artificial intelligence programs. Constellation says the plant meets the growing demand for clean, zero-carbon energy and will create thousands of jobs, saying in a statement, "This plant was among the safest and most reliable nuclear plants on the grid, and we look forward to bringing it back."
Nuclear power has a great safety record.
Nuclear energy expert Professor Anna Erickson says demand for energy is exploding, in part due to AI.
AI requires energy that is 24/7. And the nuclear power is one of the best sources to provide that consistent need for energy.
The reactor isn't expected to be online until 2028, and it first has to earn approval from the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Nancy?
Michael George, thank you.
In a groundbreaking move that has snagged the attention of investors and tech enthusiasts alike, Microsoft has sealed a monumental deal that blends old-world energy solutions with cutting-edge technology. Buckle up, because this isn't just any ordinary partnership. It's a 20-year contract with Constellation Energy to revitalize the iconic yet dormant 3 Mile Island nuclear plant. Yes, you heard that right. The tech behemoth is diving into the nuclear energy sector to fuel its relentless AI and cloud computing ambitions. An investment of $1.6 billion will go into restarting the 906-megawatt reactor, which has been lying dormant since 1979, along with its twin reactor that was shut down in 2019. This partnership marks a significant turn in how tech giants are planning their energy consumption for the future. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
Constellation Energy is a top gainer on the S&P this morning. As you take a look at the laggards, those shares officially have doubled on the year. Pippa Stevens joins us now. Of course, there is a lot going on in terms of the provisioning of power, particularly for data centers.
That's right, David. And this morning, Constellation Energy said that it will reopen the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant, selling all of the power to Microsoft as a part of a 20-year agreement to power the tech giant's data centers. And yes, you did hear that right. We are talking about 3 Mile Island, the site of the worst nuclear accident in U.S. history in 1979, which sparked a backlash against nuclear power. But this site has 2 reactors, one that was shut down after the accident and one that was active until 2019, and that is the one that they're reopening. It comes as the nuclear industry is getting another look because of power demand from AI, which is surging. Now, Constellation said it will spend $1.6 billion to revive Unit 1 and is aiming to have the unit back online by 2028, although it is subject to approval by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. The company owns roughly 20% of the U.S.'s nuclear capacity, and shares are up 102% this year as electrification, reshoring, and data centers all increase power demand. Now, uranium stocks are also on the move today. The URA and URNM are both up more than 2% each, and Cameco, Uranium Energy, and NextGen are some of the biggest gainers. And Constellation's jump is also lifting the utility sector as a whole. Vistra, Exelon, and NRG are all.
Microsoft's recent deal with Constellation Energy to revive the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant could be described as nothing short of revolutionary for both companies and the future of AI and cloud computing. This isn't just about pushing buttons and flipping switches. It's a calculated move to ensure a sustainable, clean source of energy for as long as the next 2 decades. Think of it as rekindling an old flame, but with a future-perfect twist. The 3 Mile Island plant, infamous for the 1979 incident that marked one of the worst nuclear disasters in the United States, now gets a chance to rewrite its history. Constellation Energy has committed to investing a whopping $1.6 billion into upgrading essential equipment, including the main transformer, turbine, and cooling systems. These upgrades will make the plant safer, more efficient, and crucially, more aligned with present-day energy consumption needs. The plant's rehabilitation is more than just a nod to the past. It's a harbinger of what's to come. By weaving together the legacy of nuclear energy and the forward-thinking paradigms of modern tech, Microsoft and Constellation are writing a new chapter in energy innovation. For years, nuclear power was shrouded in controversy and doubt. yet its potential for consistent energy output remains unmatched. The upgrades will incorporate state-of-the-art technology to monitor and manage the workflow and to maximize efficiency, heralding in a new era where nuclear energy meets next-gen tech. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Microsoft's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
Pippa, you've been all over this phenomenon of restarting and even building nuclear energy this year. I wonder, though, if this particular bit of news came as a surprise even to you.
Yeah, you know, there had been some rumors that maybe it would be restarted because, remember, it was shut down 5 years ago to the day. And so it is still, you know, functional in the sense that, you know, the operations, the plans haven't changed all that much. So there had been rumors. But I think the speed with which we've seen these announcements come, we've also seen Palisades in Michigan. That one is also being restarted and it's kind of set the blueprint for other reactors to come back online. I think it just speaks to the fact that this AI power demand story really did take the market by surprise, and it keeps accelerating. And so there is this kind of need to secure power, and there's nothing more valuable than energy infrastructure that is already built. It is really hard to build new plants in the U.S. It takes so much regulatory approval. And so if you have an asset that is sitting there that could be brought back online, it becomes very attractive. And so clearly there were a lot of people swirling around to try to lock this one down. However, you know, it does still face an uphill battle to coming back online. I mean, Constellation has a lot of credit in the industry because it is the largest nuclear operator in the U.S. But still, you know, there is local opposition, and 3 Mile Island for a lot of people does create a kind of visceral reaction.
Bobby Hollis, VP of Energy at Microsoft, nailed it when he said, "This agreement is a major milestone in Microsoft's efforts to help decarbonize the grid in support of our commitment to become carbon negative." Microsoft continues to collaborate with energy providers to develop carbon-free energy sources to help meet the grid's capacity and reliability needs. Microsoft's move is a clear commitment to sustainability and efficiency, tangibly aligning with global climate goals. For the skeptical investors out there, here's a bit of hard data to chew on. Microsoft's cloud services saw a revenue increase of 32% year-over-year in 2022. To sustain such explosive growth, colossal energy consumption is required. Nuclear energy offers a reliable, steady source of power, avoiding the pitfalls often associated with other renewable energies like solar and wind, which can be weather-dependent and unpredictable. This consistent energy source can support the constant, high-demand operations of data centers and AI processing units, ensuring that Microsoft services remain uninterrupted and efficient. The resurgence of nuclear energy, in this case, parallels the cryptocurrency mining mania, which also required immense and consistent power resources. Now, with AI demanding similar, if not higher, energy consumption, the move towards stable nuclear power comes as no surprise. And let's not forget the ripple effects this deal could have on Constellation Energy's stock. The company has been looking at ways to repurpose its dormant assets, and this deal could pave the way for similar agreements with other tech giants also wrestling with energy challenges. The market responded favorably to the news, with Constellation's shares rising by 5% on the day of the announcement. This strategic partnership also paints a promising picture for the local economy. Revitalizing the 3 Mile Island plant will likely create numerous jobs, from construction roles to plant operations, benefiting the surrounding communities economically. The influx of jobs will also necessitate additional services, creating a ripple effect that could breathe new life into the area. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Well, there were 2 reactors. One of them melted, the other kept going for 40 years. The only reason it closed in 2019 is because fossil fuels were really cheap, and the tech companies were using the fossil fuel power while claiming that they were using renewable energy from certificates in a different state and a different time. So they were satisfied with the cheap fossil fuel prices, and they refused to get in the middle of intervening to buy nuclear power to keep the nuclear plant from closing.
And Mark, just taking a step back, the demand for electricity for so many of the big themes, the mega trends we talk about on this show, right? EVs, crypto, the AI boom, and maybe not surprising to see headlines like this and the more interest in nuclear. Can you just help us maybe quantify that interest in nuclear? What are you seeing out there?
Well, I'd like to think that the nuclear interest is only because it's a fascinating technology. That's why I got into it and studied nuclear engineering. I think a lot of the interest in the nuclear is because we're running out of other energy sources. We decided to make a lot of things electric. For example, New York banning electric stoves, but then New York also shut down its nuclear plant. So we're running out of power, and we're realizing that if we're going to have everybody buy electric vehicles, we have to be able to charge it from power plants that run all the time.
As this deal gains traction, savvy investors should take notice. Nuclear energy, once deemed risky and economically unfeasible, is being given a fresh lease on life thanks to the massive energy needs of AI and cloud computing. Microsoft's strategic partnership with Constellation Energy is not just a move toward sustainability. It's a forward-thinking solution that could set a precedent for other technology companies grappling with similar energy constraints. Currently, Microsoft's share price hovers around its all-time high, buoyed by its continuous expansion into newer, greener, and more efficient technologies. With the announcement, analyst forecasts predict a robust upward trend for both companies' stocks. For the long-term investor eyeing sustainable growth, this partnership presents a compelling case. And now, let's hear from you. What do you think about Microsoft's ambitious move into nuclear energy? Do you think this will set a new trend among other tech giants? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Microsoft have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen.